Hey, this is Jeff with The Building Boys. By trade, I'm a chiropractor, and I own other real estate ventures such as extended stay suites and long-term rentals. One day a week, I grow my passive income portfolio. In these videos, I will be working alongside my father building our next passive income stream, a senior citizen fourplex. Watch our videos and repeat the process for yourself so you can become financially free.
Hey everybody, it is another episode and we are installing storm doors. All right, so when it comes to storm doors, at least my personal preference is when the door is a right swinging, interior swinging in, I want the handle for the storm door on the opposite side so that you open the storm door, you use your body to hold the storm door while you get in, okay? So when you have a right swinging door, I want the hinges of the storm door on this side. So this is going to be a left storm door. Okay. So on the other duplex, it was the opposite. Okay. We are using a Larson easy hang installation. Okay. These things are just ridiculously easy. And we're going to go through the whole process. So Larson easy hang. I've used these on other rentals and they're just awesome. Customer service is fantastic. So if you need new latches and stuff like that, it works so well with the Therma-Tru on the brick mold. All right, so let's get after it. Okay, first things first, do not use your knife to open these. It says it plain as day. Don't think that that's just a suggestion. You will either scratch the paint or break the glass. Okay, so this thing has a nice, easy tear, so you can just open it with your fingers. All right, so we use black. This was a custom order. This was a custom order to have that black. Kind of like I said in past videos, we have a little bit of black stonework in the front, black shingles. So I really like that contrast, but I didn't want to get carried away with black gutter, black soffit. That just increased the dollars. So I was like, if I can do little things like a little bit of stonework, black shingles, and a black storm door, that's going to be plenty to make this thing really pop. And then the rest of it can be your standard white vinyl. For the back doors, between the patio, I'm just using your standard white. They are found everywhere, Menards, Lowe's, or your local lumberyard. Those are stock. So if you need to return it for some reason, it's no big deal, they'll take it in. These black ones are a special order, so you just want to be really careful, and you can't just go take it back probably. So same exact thing as the white, but it's just black. So we got the parts. This is the latch side that goes on the outside. We'll go through all this obviously. This goes on the bottom. An extender down. This is the top drip edge, kind of like a frame, I guess you could call it. And then this is the hinge side. Okay, so this is the beauty. So what makes these so easy is this little hole that looks like a fish, and we're gonna go work on that right now outside. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna have the hinges on the same side as the door handle of the main door. Okay, so this is the hinge side. We are going to put this up in this crevice. This has to be at least 1 inch, and this has to be at least 1 inch. Therma-Tru brick mold is perfect. So it's just right now it's just setting on the threshold. I'm going to push it all the way up. Take a marker, and I'm going to put a dot right there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that dot? I'm just putting a dot right here. Okay. In parts bag A, maybe it changes when you do this, there is a screw that we're going to pop in there. And let's do that right now. All right. Parts bag A, there's literally 1 screw. You can't screw it up. Or I guess you are supposed to screw it up. I'm putting that screw right where I put that marker. Okay, I'm not getting crazy with it. It makes no sense to bury that thing. gonna leave it out, okay? This will set just like that, okay? But we're not gonna do that right now. So let's get this off now that we have that set. All right, it's facing the outside is facing up right now. I want to turn it around so I see that inside. Just be careful. Also, with the black, you have to order separately the handle. So they kind of get you with price, but I really wanted black. Handle comes standard with the white door. All right, so now you have to get yourself oriented. Which side is the hinge side? So in this case, that opposite side is the hinge side. Okay, before we put the hinge aspect on, this is the bottom plate that goes on the bottom of the storm door, the weather stripping, okay? This allows it so the door is actually a little bit shorter than the hole, so and then just in case the door is a little bit weird, you can actually just push this down to make it tight. So we're just gonna feed this weather stripping right into there, okay? They make it a little bit long, so I don't know why they make that so long, but okay. So I don't know if you can really see this or not. Okay. There's 2 holes on this. 1, 2. They go on the inside of the door. That's why I turned this around, okay? So this is gonna sit, see how the holes? We're gonna pop that in there. All right, I got it popped in. It just kind of a bear, but took me about a minute. I am not screwing it in. I'm just popping it in for right now, okay? All right, next part is use parts bag B. These are the screws that are gonna connect the hinge bracket thing to the door. So this is the top. There is about 3 inches below these 2 metal bolts is a little tiny hole. I don't even know if you can see that. All right, there, okay. That is gonna be where your first hinge hole goes, and that'll set your length. Make sure all of these are flipped out. You don't want to start putting these in and then one of them's stuck on the inside. Okay, I put the first screw in. You know you're right when the distance here from the top of the door to right here is about 3/16. So we are perfect. Putting screws in. These are self-tappers. You do not need to do a pilot hole. These are universal doors, so you can be a left or a right. This is where the lock mechanism goes in. It's on either side, but since this is the hinge side, we want to cover that up. So we use this and screw it in there, okay? All right, see, there you go. You just put 2 screws in there, cover that hole up. All right, now that we kind of talked about how this piece extends down, we also want to do the same thing for this. So we have 2 little brackets, and you will slide one in right there. All right, so I slid it in. You can't even really see it. I have it pushed all the way up. So later, when I have this on, I'll just take a little chisel and pop this down like an inch or whatever. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with this piece, okay? So this is the piece that goes on the opposite side. And there you have it. Okay, so that allows this to extend down so there's no air gaps. All right, now we're actually gonna hang that door. We're gonna use bag C, okay? I'm gonna have these with me. I'm gonna have a couple in my mouth so I can pop these screws in real quick. I just don't want this door to get away from me. Wind's kind of picking up and stuff like that, okay? Make sure your hammer on your tool belt doesn't break the glass. I'm gonna set that screw in that little fishtail right now, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna start putting these screws in from bag C. All right, now it's not going anywhere. Tighten that set screw. Don't get too crazy with tightening. Screw, that was our top set screw. Screw. This was another one of those fish ones. I just put it in the very highest point of that fishtail. Fishtail, screw, fishtail. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is put the top drip edge, okay? So, you gotta actually do this closed. Let me shut this door. All right, so this is the drip edge. Okay, so you could put this on backwards, so just, well, actually you couldn't, but this is the little fluffy weather stripping that's gonna go up against the door on the inside. I'm gonna put that on the inside. Now I'm gonna shut that door. Let me get a couple screws. Okay, so we wanna have this uniform. Okay, so I'm just sitting on top of this piece, okay? So what I'm gonna do is put a screw right there right now. Okay, now I wanna keep that same uniform height on the other side. So that is just uniform all the way across, okay? Okay, now we're gonna put the final outside piece on, okay? So weather stripping up against the door. That little push down pop out thing is on the bottom. Let me get a couple screws. Push it up tight against this brick mold and up high up against the drip edge. Don't get crazy tight, just make sure it's snug. Get a couple more screws. Okay, so now those little push-up things, I just push down. Okay, now we have a little opening of about a 1 inch of weather stripping. So they give you little pieces of weather stripping. We'll put that right there and right there. Okay, we also want to put screws on the outside of the hinge side. There's a lot of weight on this, so more screws on the outside, okay? And they always leave you with one extra, which is very nice because I actually needed it just for a little extra support on my other one. All right, this is when Larson doors really come to shine. So you don't have to do any measuring to get these holes just right. They have this really cool little patent pending thingamajigger. And see, this little nubbin fits right with that little nubbin. So you really can't F this up. Or I guess you could maybe, I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna pop this in. Find that nubbin, snaps in. This hole goes right in line with the hole that's already there. So then you just like a double check, making sure that this is in place. Okay, let's take a closer look. You are gonna take a drill with 3 30-second drill bit, and you're gonna put a hole right where the little holes are on all the circles that you can read the word drill, not upside down. Okay, so this first one, it's upside down and right side up. So you are gonna put one there. No, yes, no, yes, yes. 4 on that side, 4 on the other side. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Let's get to it. It has really dropped in temperature very quickly. On all the ones that can read the word drill. Cannot read the word drill. Yes, I can, right here. Okay, there's 4. Okay, that is it. with a 3/32 bit. Put that back. It comes with a 3/4 inch spade bit. So the only bit you need to have is a 3/32. Okay, now that you already made the pilot holes, keep this brackety thing on and screw. Hold this bracket still just to make sure it doesn't move. One more. Other side. Starting to rain. Take the actual lock bracket. The side that's got the screw is the top. This little latchy thing is the bottom. It's gonna slide down in there. Let's get this off. Okay, so we're just gonna pop that in there, okay? It's already got that screw with that hole that we talked about earlier. That gets us right in the spot. So like I said, door handles sold separately. They kind of get you with these custom ones, but it looks really nice. All right, so this part with the little twisty knob, that goes on the inside. You don't want that on the outside or else your bad guys are gonna get in. Okay, you don't want to get crazy with these, but just so I can go faster, I'm gonna use my drill. Don't bury it. Okay, handles. The rod part goes through the outside. Oh, it's starting to rain on me. And we're just gonna tighten this handle. Okay, I made a slight mistake. These doors are automatically set up as a right-handed. So when I put this in, the actual latch, the actual thing, latch, bevel thing was backwards. So all I had to do is take it out, loosen the screws, push down, rotate, and now we're back in business, okay? So I apologize, I put that in wrong initially. So if you are putting in a left, you have to turn this latch, all right? All right, the door latch is now in properly. Now we have to put this on right there for it to latch. All right, you would think that putting this little latch thing would be idiot proof, but it's not. I'm an idiot. This is not, I thought this was just the same thing. Put the narrow side up and the thicker side down. I screwed that up. Okay, now we're gonna push this down tight to the threshold and put a screw. All right, you guys, we are so close. All we have to do is put the these thingies on, okay? So, the one with the little pushy thing goes on the bottom, because that's where you put your foot on. This one goes on top. Notice this red sticker. That means in this area, do not put this. You gotta put it on this bottom little piece, okay? Same with the top, way up high. All right, so let's get to it. First thing we're gonna do, take one of these, slanted side towards the storm door. You're gonna put 4 big legs in it. You want to be a 1/4 inch away from the hinge bracket. Okay, I already marked that off. We're gonna stay down low and be just about like that, okay? All right, now you're gonna take one of the shorter things, pop off that little gasket, put this thing up top. And then you were going to put that little gasket back on the bottom again, so this doesn't pop off anytime. That's what that looks like, okay? All right, now we're going to take one of these and connect it at the bottom. Use a longer rod, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. Gasket on the bottom. God, that hurt my elbow. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on top. I'm gonna be up higher. I wanna be above. This is the screen thing, this curvy thing. So I wanna be right up in here. There's not much, there's not many options, I guess I should say. Use a short one again, take that gasket off. And once again. I thought I could feel air coming through. It says remove on this little piece. How do I? There we go. There. A lot of air coming through there. All right, so now take two little black screws. I want this to be fairly level. That looks pretty good right there. By fairly level, I mean level. I'm gonna go get a ladder just so I can see better. There we go. Now we gotta do it on the bottom. All right, now you just need to adjust the closers themselves, and we'll just do that there. It just shows a plus minus. Plus minus, you just turn this plus or minus. Same with this right here, okay? So that as far as how much spring in the closing. Hey, I forgot to mention, where we have all those screws, they have a nice little covering that you just cover that up, and this is just so slick looking. So you just take a little piece of wood and a hammer and just tap, 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 and that covers up all those screws. All right, little extra knowledge, this piece that goes on the latch side, do not push it all the way tight up against the edge, up against this brick mold, because it will be over to the side too far, about 3/16. So what you want to do is basically have this edge line right up with that edge, and then just kind of look at that distance from here to here and eyeball that all the way down. Because if you do it too far, you're going to have a hard time getting this to latch. Okay, so do not push this piece all the way this way against the brick mold. You'll have to have it over probably about 3/16. All right, everybody, that is a wrap to put in a Larson quick install. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. I'm really bad at promoting what we got going on. So if you're just watching this video, we have a multi-series step process of how to build your own duplex, okay? So we got the wood all spread out. You know, we got all the doors hung. We're getting really close to having this duplex done. And our whole series, the whole purpose of this is so that you can watch these videos. We're up to like 30-ish right now. And you can feel confident in doing this yourself. If you go to our website, thebuildingboys.com, it'll show the ability to purchase all of our building plans, schematics, cabinet dimensions, everything, you know, in-floor heat runs, HVAC requirements, all of that. It's under $200. So check it out. If you like what you see, help us out. All right, take care.